Ever stare at your power bill and dream of solar flipping it to zero, only to hear utilities slamming the door on that golden hour? In California's sun-drenched battleground, homeowners just swung a Supreme Court haymaker that could shatter the barriers and flood the state with gleaming panels again. Buckle up. We're tunneling through this epic clash, from the gut-wrenching cuts that gutted dreams to the legal lightning that might reignite them. Your rooftop could be the next battleground hero. It started like a midnight mugging in broad daylight. NM3. Zero, that 2022 regulator masterstroke from the CPUC, gutted export credits by a brutal 75 to 80%, flipping retail rate riches, around 30 cents per kilowatt hour, into a pittance of avoided costs, scraping 8 cents at best. Grandfathered in before April 2023, you sipped the sweet nectar of full payouts, basking in bill-free bliss. But for the fresh-faced dreamers after, it was a cold splash. Interconnection pleas nosedived 82% almost overnight, according to piercing LAist investigations, while industry whispers pegged residential installs tumbling 40% by 2024's end. Imagine crunching those incentive-fueled forecasts, envisioning summers of surplus sales funding family road trips, only to watch crews pack up tents as the math turned toxic. Families in Fresno and San Diego, who'd banked on panels to tame triple-digit summers and soaring rates, felt the sting deepest, savings evaporating like morning dew. It's the raw rub of equity that feels anything but fair, pitting rooftop rebels against a grid Goliath. Yet as the dust settled on stalled scaffolds, a fierce trio began forging their counterstrike, armed with facts sharper than any blade. Enter the unlikely alliance. The Center for Biological Diversity, Protect Our Communities Foundation, and Environmental Working Group. These eco-enforcers didn't just file suits, they unleashed a torrent, hammering the CPUC for tunnel vision on tariffs while blind to solar's broader bounty. They spotlighted the slight, how NEM ignored the societal lifelines, bolstered grids dodging blackouts, slashed emissions curbing wildfires, and equity boosts for low-income enclaves via community solar shares. This isn't balancing books, it's blindfolding benefits, their briefs thundered, arguing the commission overstepped, chasing cost shifts to non-solar folks without weighing the green gold mine. The lower appeals court? It dodged the fray, rubber-stamping the slash with a nod to regulatory deference, calling it a policy puzzle best left to experts. Outrage rippled, critics cried foul on the punt, especially as 2025 dawned with install apps still in freefall and job boards echoing empty. But with briefs sharpening and allies swelling, the gaze turned upward to the state's 7 justices, where the real rumble awaited. And when that gavel fell, it echoed like thunder across the valleys. August 7th, 2025. In a unanimous roar, the Supreme Court yanks the reins, remanding the mess back to the appeals arena with a no-nonsense mandate. Ditch the deference, dive deep, and dissect if CPUC truly trampled its tracks. Justices skewered the lower court's leniency, insisting judicial scrutiny must pierce the policy veil, probing claims of overlooked upsides like solar's role in fueling growth and fortifying resilience. Bernadette Del Chiaro, EWG's California vanguard, didn't mince words on the post-ruling buzz. They flat-out called the appeals punt for what it was, a sidestep on the substance. This is a clarion call for a forensic review. It's no outright reversal yet, but a seismic pivot, injecting fresh fuel into a fight that's already scorched careers and stalled innovations. Solar stocks twitched, installers held breath, and online forums lit up with victory lap vibes, one ex-user hailing it as a path to pump home values skyward post-NEM doom. The air crackled with possibility, but beneath the cheers lurked the human toll of the cuts that got us here, a cascade that could claim livelihoods in the thousands. Envision the ripple. 17,000 souls, hard-hatted heroes wiring wonders, sales savants sealing deals, admins juggling apps, teetered on the brink of NEM's inaugural wipeout, grim tallies from early fallout forecasts. Zoom to LA's sprawl. Permits that once surged past 10,000 in boom halves plummeted to a heartbreaking 3,700 by mid-2025, crosstown tallies confirm, leaving neighborhoods dotted with half-dreamed domiciles. It's not faceless figures. It's raw stories like Elena, the single mom in Riverside whose solar apprenticeship evaporated, forcing ramen nights over rooftop revelations, or Diego's crew in Oakland, tools rusting as eviction notices loomed. The emotional vice tightens when green ambitions collide with grocery runs. Kids trading solar science fairs for survival scrimps, all while wildfires rage unchecked by the very tech sidelined. X threads pulse with the pain. One dev turned surfer laments NM as Gavin's gravest gaffe, praying the high court flips the script before more families fracture. Yet in this valley of vanished gigs, a silver thread gleams. These setbacks spotlight solar's untapped treasures, the kind that transcend tabs and touch tomorrows. Peel past the payouts and solar emerges as a silent sorcerer, zapping household haze by thousands of pounds of CO2 annually, while platforms like Energy Sage wizard up 10 grand in trimmed totals through razor-sharp quote quests and rebate radars. Layer in a heat pump, and the alchemy amps. Ultra-efficient zips on solar sips drive bills to whisper-thin wisps, powering plush climates and kitchen hums on heaven's free fuel. Think of the Bakersfield brood who bridged from blistering bucks to bounty bliss, rebates raining, summers soothed, all while wildfires wane from widespread watts. It's the whisper that wows, not just net zero nests, but nests nurturing healthier havens, asthma dips for tots, and equity echoes reaching renters via virtual NEM tweaks now bubbling in CPUC cauldrons. Forums froth with flips. NEM hobbled us, but hybrids heal, one installer shares, detailing a client's plunge from peak hour panics to perpetual plenty. Heart-swelling, isn't it? The kind of win that whispers, worth the wait, even as darker dealings simmer in the utility underbelly. That fortress of the few? Del Chiaro dubs it a black box labyrinth, shrouded in legalese mists where naughty knots knot up the truth, letting leviathans lounge while little guys labor. Speculation swirls in the smoke. Cozy CPUC utility waltzes tilting tariffs toward treasure chests, with NM's balance more a billion-dollar buffer than broad benevolence. X echoes the unease. Behind the complexity curtain, consumers and climate crumbles. Threads tangle, hinting at entanglements that eclipse equity. Reports ripple of rigged reviews, where growth guardians like solar's societal surge, fortified frequencies fending blackouts, low-income leaps via shared shines, get ghosted for grid gripes. It's the controversy that coils. A high court Hawkeye could crack the code, flooding forums with finally the fix frenzy. Throat tight with the tangle? Good, because as veils thin, a vibrant vista beckons on the brink. Horizon hues hint at harvest. California's solar saga already sun-kisses 14.6 million homes, Energy Sage beacons blaze, and this remand rocket could catapult connections skyward once more. Envision the eruption, installs igniting like August embers, jobs juicing from jamboree to jackpot, with low-loft leaps lighting underserved shadows. Whispers weave of warmer credits thawing the freeze, turbocharging transitions as state mandates march on, undeterred by dips. Your litmus, south-sloping shingles, bills blistering over 100 monthly? Fire up a quote quest. Tools tease timelines under 5 grand post-incentives. X ignites the intrigue. Supreme Spark could spike values 4 to 6% per panel palace, one podcaster posits, flipping NEM's frown to fortune forecast. It's not mere mandate. It's momentum, molding middays into milestones where every eavesdropper eyes empowerment. So there, the stealth/spotlighted, underdogs unleashed, Gavel's gale gathered, gigs ghosts grappled, Sorcery surfaced, shadows shredded, resurgence roused. From 82% abysses to apex avalanches of potential, this supreme sideswipe isn't ink on parchment. It's ignition for the ignored, a beacon battling the behemoths. But marinate on the mind melter. What if this ripple doesn't merely mend meters? It reshapes realms, torching fossil footholds from coast to canyon, with federal green gusts like IRA infusions fanning the flames. Reports rustle of wild cards waiting in the wings. But your spark? Spill it. Roof-ready rebel, or what's the wall? Like if it lit your latitude, subscribe for more mantle movers. Sun's sovereignty starts with seeing the surge. Your dawn dazzles here.